Welcome to Atticum Plays Port Royale 4. Alright, hi, this is Atticum and welcome to part 2 of our playthrough of the Port Royale 4 closed beta Spain campaign. And we got off to a pretty good start in the first one. I thought we did, I don't know the game well enough to say that for a fact, but yeah, it seemed pretty good. I did make one change in the options and set it so that the border would move the screen. See, I could move like that. That was turned off. I did turn that on, and you do have WASD to move around as well. But I'm not very good at the WASD games. Let's see what we want to do. I did want to say, even if we don't know the game terribly well, there are basic principles that you want to follow when you're playing a tycoon game. And one of them is this right here. See all that cash? No, that's no good. We do not want to be accumulating a big stockpile of cash. We want to invest that cash as fast as we can, provided you can put it in something that's going to make you more money. Well, a game like this that has trade routes that just go around and buy and sell goods and make money, I mean, come on. Plus, we can always build more businesses and expand faster than our tasks are asking us to do. So we want to balance that against what we have to get done, of course, and focus. Our primary focus, of course, is to hit our tasks, but we also want to expand our businesses in other ways and not sit on cash. So, and the other one is we have our fame points to spend now. So we have two things to spend. We have money and fame. So in this game. So let's take a quick look at where we are. They want us to have cotton in Seville, great. They want us to have tobacco in Seville, great. Those are both commodities that can go to Maracaibo, which is excellent, and they want us to ship goods to Maracaibo, and we already have a route set up to do that, and we've already shipped quite a bit. And see here the colonial commodities, cotton, tobacco, coffee, and cocoa, and we're going to put two of them right here in our hometown of Seville. So let's talk about that money we want to spend. Well, the first thing I think we want to do with that money is spend it on, where are we here? Get down in here to, I'm sorry, I'm still learning. All right, we can build all this stuff in Seville because we are the administrator for this town. So we can build, I may have to turn that, I can see why they don't have that now. The screens aren't that big. You know what, I'm going to turn that off. Let me go into options. Let's see, where was it? Here we go. I'm on left middle button drag. Nah, I don't even want that. I just want it off. I think they had it right the first time. Yeah. Much easier like that. I'll just have to learn how to WASD. All right. So, where was I? Oh, so we can build up Seville and make new areas. And what we want to do is think about building the housing to match the production that we need. So let's take a look and see how we're going to figure that out. All right, if we look at Seville, there's a few things. One is we can see that if we look at our coverage of town buildings, these numbers down here tell us we have no hospitals and the risk of plague is rising. Well, if we get a plague in town, we're going to start losing people. We're going to lose production. It's going to cost us lots of money. No good. So we want to think about a hospital or two or three. And our market coverage doesn't seem to be very good considering. And I think the way they're doing this, I'm hoping what they're doing is saying 89% of residential areas are covered by a chapel, 78% by a tavern, 22% by a market. I hope that's what it says because that's actually useful. And I finally figured out how you can figure out what these buildings are. If you scroll over them, like here, see how the churches pop up? That means that we're on a church or chapel right here, and it's impacting all those residential areas. And there's one over here that's only being hit by a market. There's a market right here, which is covering this group here. So which also says it doesn't cover that one. So if we want to expand, we probably need to have another market out. Let's see, probably out in here somewhere. We probably want to expand out this way, put in a market. Now what I'm thinking about is using a Grand Ages Rome model. Grand Ages Rome is a game I used to play years ago that I loved, and it's the first game I ever made videos on. And you could go back and find some of those. They're pretty old. Hopefully I've gotten better at making videos since then, but I had that game pretty well nailed. And one of the things I did was basically, it had the same kind of an idea of, you had these buildings that made the people happy or gave them supplies. Then you had the people who were workers, and then you had the buildings that they worked in, besides the ones that they supplied. So what I'm thinking here is, if we had a core where we had like market and a tavern and church. Where's a church? Oh, here. If we had a market, tavern, church together nearby, and then maybe one other thing like that provides satisfaction, like a park or something, and had that as almost like a downtown central or a neighborhood central area, then had the ring of houses around that, they would all get benefit from those buildings. Then a ring around the houses of our workshops, because they all benefit from being close to the workers, and they don't negatively impact the residential. And then a ring of the mines and farms and raw material production outside of that, away from the houses. I think that would be the logical, obvious way to build something. So I think let's play with that a little bit here. Let's go in and put in another market, if we're allowed to. I think we can. Here we go, the market. And we can put it, I'd like to put, yeah, right there. I'd like to put it right there, so we've got this tight little thing. And then something that makes people satisfied, like a park. Okay, so we've got like a downtown area here now. It's got a park. And see, even these have now picked up, some of them, satisfaction from the park. That's what that tree means. I think I said in the last one it meant they're near forest. That doesn't make any sense. They're near a park. So this residential area is getting a satisfaction. I think the blue's population bonuses and the green is satisfaction. So they're getting higher satisfaction because of the park and the market, and they're getting population bump with the tavern and the church, so they can go up to 240 people in this area and be happy. So that's beautiful. So then we'll build residential areas around it like this, so that they get impacted positively by this area down here. In fact, let's just do that. Let's just put in, let's put in 4 residential. Now, unfortunately, these grain fields are here. They're kind of messing us up, and they're going to cause a little bit of negative impact on these houses, but they're going to get the positive, so we're okay. We're okay. And then what's the next thing I want? I wanted a ring of workshops around that, and then finally get out to the production. So the production we're building here is cotton and tobacco. So let's see, if we wanted to build cotton plantation, here we go. Now we can see from this, the coloring that's green out here, see it's away from these houses. So what I'm thinking is that maybe there's going to be one more layer of housing here, workshops in here in this row. So it's fine to put our cotton out here, and if we put 4 together, make it a large cotton plantation, it'll get a production bonus. So we will do that. We'll put 4 like that. So now we've got a nice cotton plantation out here, and we can and our cotton is going to be woven into cloth in a weaving mill, which of course now that we know those workshops can go in any of the towns. So that tells me if we're going to build cotton, one good use for our fame would be to pick up the weaving mill. So now we can make the weaving mill, and we've got another point. And we could even make a tailor. And oh boy. All right, so now we can make cloth and we can make clothing. So we used our 2 points to give us 2 new businesses. We've got our ring of, we've got our downtown. We've got a ring of people. I think the ring of people needs to go out a little bit. And I may overdo this. This is a little bit. This is experimentation. No, it's too close. I don't want that. Whoops. I want demolish that. Okay, too close to the to these. These probably, if anything, need to be out here. Do they? Yeah. I think we need a little more room. We'll figure this out eventually, but I think we need to move a couple of these. Why won't that delete? That's weird. It wouldn't keep demolishing. And what, that was weird. Okay. We'll try this again. I really hate these guys, but I'm gonna pretend they're not there. Pretend those are houses. So we won't get as good an effect here, but we'll at least be able to experiment with the principle. So see, they do get the market, and out here they don't. So it looks like we can run our town and then run a ring of 2 around it. 2 of these hexagons of or tiles of housing, and then run 1 or 2 of the factories. So what I want to do here is put because we now can do it, we can put weaving. Now what happened to our tailor? Why can't we do this? I'm not sure why we can't do the tailor unless it requires this first. Let's just see. We'll put this down. See, he gets a bonus from being close to housing and close to supplies, which I don't get. Do we have cotton here somewhere? Oh, it must think that cotton's still there. So 1, 2. I'm going to put in a row of clothing. Now, why can't we make this? Receive architect required. What does that mean? Architect. Okay, that's a new term for me. Architect. Do we have to hire an architect? Do we have to build a building that has architecture in it? Let's see. Tavern, tools, hospital. Oh, we do want to get a hospital in here too. Let's put one there. Small church. Ah, here we go. The master builder built it in the town center. So where's that? I don't understand. It looks like it's a separate building. I think that's poorly worded. Can only be built once in the town center. I think it means, okay, we can't build, oh, I see. It has to be built around the town center, which I guess is that. So we'll put it right there. So that's going to be our master builder. And I think when that's done, we'll be able to take these industries and expand them out to put in, what am I trying to say? The clothing makers. And then, although I gotta be careful, I think the clothing, yeah, the tailor just needs the cloth. Good, that's all we need. So that should be beautiful. All right, back to this. The inn increases in number. Okay, so we can put an inn. Okay, the town will have one inn, and it's going to increase job seekers, and I think we want that. So let's put in an inn. And we'll be able to put a warehouse in soon, and we'll get into some much more complex stuff When we get a bigger city, we'll have a harbor master. The shipwright, we'll get that into that when we get a large shipyard. But we need a concession for that and 6,000 inhabitants, and we're not there. I don't think. How big are we? No, we're only 1,400 people. All right, so we've got this. We're going to put another row. So let's put in our cotton. That's all this was so we can put cotton farms in. I want to leave a space here for the clothing, and we'll put cotton out here like this. To put them out there like that. Okay, and then the other thing, boy, we're going through that money in a hurry, aren't we? Oh, this is fun. All right, tobacco. Now, what can we do with tobacco? Does tobacco turn into anything else, like cigars? I don't think so in this game. It does in Port Royale 3, but I don't see cigars or any use of tobacco anywhere. It looks like it's just a raw material, so we want to think of it as just a raw material. We want to have it out kind of away from everything, so where am I? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Spacing out there for a second. Let's put it out here. Okay, so now we've got our 4 tobacco being built. We've got our 4 cotton. We've got our 4, and I don't know the ratios here. Probably, I don't know if you need like 4 to 4 or 4 to 2. You know, we'll figure that out as we go. And so we've got our, we're building all kinds of stuff, spend all kinds of money, and I didn't even get to what I really thought I was going to do with all that money, which is more ships. So what I want to do now is look at our routes. I want to look at our convoys. And if we look at it on tour, the convoys on tour, it shows us that we have, you know, that big clockwise one we made, and Seville to Evangelista, the one that runs down to the south. The city's just below us to the south. The Seesaw one we built to just to get popularity in Seesaw. Will we keep that one? Yeah, we might as well. And where's our one that goes to? Oh, I think it's. Is it this one? I wish when you looked at them here, you could see them on here, so you'd know which route it was. Seville to Evangelista. Let's go look at our trade routes. Oh, here it does. All right, so let's look at our trade route and figure out what that's Seville. Here we go. Seville to Evangelista. We can get I like soup out of the way. I like soup, please move. There we go. There's this. This is the route that's going to Maracaibo. So, yep. So, Seville to Evangelista. I'd like to rename that one. To Seville. I'm going to call this one to Maracaibo. Okay, and now let's go back to our convoys. Go on tour. Here we go. Seville to Maracaibo. So, the first thing I notice is look how full it is. All right? And if we look down here, there's some nice statistics, very useful. Down here, it says the mean load. So basically, if you look at all the places it loads, it's at 97%. So it's really maxing out. This line, this route truly needs more ships to make more money. There's more goods that it could be hauling. It could be making more money for us. So we are going to get some ships on this line. Now, we could just buy some more ships and throw them on this route, and they wouldn't even have to be linked up with the ships we already have. In other words, you know, you just buy a ship and throw it on this route, and it runs independently whenever it gets there. I'd rather, I don't know, there's a side of me that would rather have them all running together, particularly if we get to the point where we want to start escorting them with combat ships when pirates start hitting us, and we know they're going to. They will hit us eventually. But we can see our little town here is starting to look pretty nice. All right, so what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Oh yeah, we want to buy some ships. So let's go into our shipyard and see what we get. Merchant vessels, schooners. Well, you know what? There's a bunch of schooners right there. They would be nice. Inexpensive. It's shallow draft. It's really meant to be like coastal runs. The brig. Okay, this is, again, kind of a coastal dude. These are all low draft, kind of small ships, but that's okay. They'll work for what we need. Schooner, 10,000. We can get a couple hundred. Brig, 20,000. Bark, 30 for 2. I'm kind of looking at how much capacity you're getting for the money you're spending. Let's go with schooners. Let's go with 3 of these puppies. Now they are going to speed of 10. That may slow down our entire convoy, but we'll see. All right, so we just bought 3 these 3 dudes. Now, what I want to do is look at the, I want to find the, our Maracaibo ships. They're right here, Seville 2. And I want to kind of follow them. I don't know how to do that. Does anybody know how to follow this guy? I'd really like to follow this guy as he runs along. Let's speed it up. We're just going to watch here and let him run back to Seville. No use interrupting his work. He's got stuff he's selling. You can see him following the waypoints that we set. And what we're going to do here is give him a manual order to go into Seville. So I've interrupted his route, and I hit right click on Seville with him selected so that this convoy will go into Seville, and then it'll stop so we can deal with it. Okay, so now we've got him in the harbor, and now we can add some ships to it. So there, now we've added a bunch of ships. You can see, now by the way, these big shipyards, these are buying ships that have been perhaps damaged. So we're going to actually do some repairs. Yeah, let's repair that little fleet right there. It's being repaired. There we go. Now we've got our fleet repaired. Now we've brought it in manually. That interrupted the trade route. So now if we go back and reactivate the route, now we'll have all of these ships going out there, and it should give us the potential to haul a lot more goods. Now, do we need that many? I don't know. We'll find out. And it could be, I mean, we may learn that it would have been better to just get those 3 schooners and run them separately, because you're not going to necessarily get that many 1,100 goods at one stop at one time. We'll see. We'll have to experiment with that. All right, we're going to let that run. Notice our money's coming right back up. We're making money like crazy. Making money in this game, if this game's hard for you to make money, you're kind of missing the boat a little bit, I think.
Progress. You should know each nation.
All right, we got our tobacco made. We're making great progress on this.
The more colonial commodities they can collect there.
Our cotton is probably waiting on production materials here, and that's something we could do. We've got our little Attican here, which is what's it? We got 3 ships on Attican, and they're not doing anything. Let's see here. Let's get them repaired first. I'll have them selected. Go to the shipyard, repair those guys. There we go. So now they're repaired, and let's go find out what they need in Seville to get all this construction done. How are we going to know that? We can see here construction is taking place, but how do we know how much we need? Anybody know? I don't know how to tell how much construction I need, how many materials I need. Somebody tell me. Now, I in Port Royale 3, I think I could figure this out. Well, I definitely could. In this one, I don't know. Maybe it's none. Maybe this is all just time to get it built, because this isn't showing a problem with construction. It's showing days to completion. So maybe we don't need to do anything with old Attican here. Rather than having him sit still, he could still go out. We could put him on one of our routes. Let's run him on that little route, the little seesaw route. Let's just assign him on that for now, just to keep him around home, and that way at least he's doing something, making us some money. And again, we're kind of keeping him aside. The Attican convoy is for doing our little special task that we need to do. Okay, I'm going to slow down here. What is this? Here, an old shellback is sitting and offers a piece of a treasure map which is up for sale. Do we have to go? I think we're going to have to go there, so let's get Attican, which I thought well, maybe I didn't hit the route active. It doesn't matter, because we're going to use it for something. We'll go over here to Nueva Filipina and see how in the world are we going to, here it is. This right here. Here we go. Sell it. So we hit an X to accept. It'll cost us 17,000. There, we got a piece of the treasure map. Now let's go look at that. If we go up here, we have a treasure map that we're constantly building. And here's something. The central piece, you're able to seek out the coastal position at which the treasure hunt will begin. So, first piece we got tells us, oh, what does it tell us? I'm not sure what that's telling us. I'm not sure how it fits with the rest of this. But as soon as we get the central piece, all right. So we'll keep looking for that treasure map. You have to kind of watch for these tasks, and like right here's one, because they do give you fame points. Okay, deliver clothing. I'm going to reject that. Well, that's too late. I was too slow. It timed out.
God bless you.
I was going to reject it anyway, but had we had our clothing business up and running, I would have taken it.
Spain is very pleased with your work. But with all the needs for luxury that we have to satisfy in Europe for the glory of the crown, we must remember that our own population cannot live on colonial commodities alone.
Okay, we've finished all of that, and now they've given us more tasks. Now, I will say this, just an impression. The campaign this first campaign really feels more like an extended tutorial. The tutorial, by the way, is pretty good. You get a decent grasp of the elements of the game from the tutorial. But I feel like we're still doing the tutorial, because it's telling us put businesses here, put businesses there, or use tips, and all that stuff. I'm hoping the other three campaigns are a little bit more, figure it out yourself. but we'll see. All right, so what do we got to do here? Puerto Cabezas, coffee and cocoa. Puerto Cabezas is down here, I think. Yeah, right here. We have good satisfaction because we've been trading with them, so we'll get a building permit. So really, this one's, we've got plenty of money, so this one's pretty easy to do. If I can remember what we're supposed to do. Coffee and cocoa. Coffee and cocoa. There's coffee. Now we could look at this town and say, okay, are we going to ever build there? If we wanted to look long term, we would think about how would we build out the town, where would we put these things, blah blah blah. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of put them out here, like so. So that, I don't know what I just built. Coffee, I think. I'm not sure what that was I just built. Coffee. Oh, sorry. You look here. Can't get all used to all this. If you hover over it, over to the left, bottom left, you see what it is. So it's going to cost us 15,000. Oh no, it's November 15, 1570. Ah, here we go. Now there it's missing 182 bricks. So we could think about going out and getting bricks to speed this up. But that's coffee, and then cocoa. We're going to put cocoa fields in as well. And I don't think they get used by anything, so we can just put them, 1, 2, 3, 4. And hopefully if they're connected like that, you still get that 4 bonus rather than having to have them kind of clumped. Now we'll see. And so that should actually take care of those 2 tasks. And one of the reasons we're ripping through these so quickly, one, they're super easy tasks, and 2, we've got lots of money, so, everything's easy. We're already trading with them, so we should be pretty good to go there. So we've got money. I want to go back to our trade routes and see if we want to add some ships to any of the other ones. Let's see. On tour. See, even this Sisal one is running pretty full. So it could probably use another ship. Our clockwise one is running pretty full too. And it makes a really good profit. I think let's add some bigger ships to that one, to clockwise. And clockwise, if you don't remember, is our big one that goes all the way around this. Kind of follows the trade winds all around the Gulf Coast. All right, so let's go here and see what kind of ships we got to buy. We'll just put 3 brigs on there. So we'll get 3 brigs and we'll put them on our clockwise. And I think this time we're just going to add them in. We're just going to take those 3. We're going to make them another. Now you notice the Attican was over here. It can get real easy to get confused what you're really dealing with. We think we're dealing with this, but this over here says we're dealing with Attican. So we've got our new convoy, and we want to give them a route. So Attican is there. He's not doing anything. Kind of typical. So now let's go here and find a route, and we're going to assign clockwise 2 to the clockwise trade route. So now we have 2 convoys running on that trade route. And they should take off and start making us money. All right, good deal. We still got money. Let's see what's going on here. This one says, if I'm reading this correctly, that it's running pretty full most of the time. Oh, that's clockwise again. Sorry. Okay, this one is not. Seville to Maracaibo really... Now it has enough ships. Remember, we just added a bunch, so we probably overdid a little bit. We could think about taking one of those out and putting it on something else. Our south line is running very full. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a ship. Nah, it's too much work. Let's just build it. Let's grab one more ship. And I should be matching the speed of these ships as well. I know that. So that one ship doesn't slow down another one. Let's just put another schooner. And let's put that schooner... let's make him... Okay, forget Attican. Let's just make him into another little convoy and assign him to Attican's doing nothing. Go do something for a while. Clockwise 2. Oh, I forgot to hit the active route. That you got to do. And south 2, we're going to put it on the south trade route. And I'm making this more confusing than it needs to be. It is a little bit confusing, I will say. But you really have to get used to having what ship are you looking at? What trade route are you looking at? How are you doing the assignment? It's a little bit confusing. I'm not that dense. All right, I forgot to hit active. You got to hit the active as well. So there's a lot to getting these going. It's really easy to build ships and have them do nothing. And I'm not there. Oh, it was being repaired. They automatically get repaired in there. So they were being repaired. Now he's off and running. All right, our money should be just humming along again. We got our coffee. We're waiting on our cocoa to finish. And we're racking up money way too fast. So we need to do something else. What can we do? Let's go to the Viceroy. A plague, you should deliver wood and cloth if you want to help. Currently, I'm perfectly happy. All right, so we could help them out. We could take Attican. And that's the shame of having him run. You can't just grab that one when you want it. So Attican, where art thou, Attican? Right here. Wood and cloth. Go to Seville. And buy wood. Buy our wood, which is fine. Should buy a lot of our wood. And then cloth. Where are we going to get cloth? Oh, our new business over here in Seville. And yep, we've got some. Let's start buying some cloth. And then let's go to Maracaibo, which I don't understand why I can't. I don't want to see the trade route. Okay, Attican. Now this is no good. I think they ought to change this. See, it's showing me the trade route that it's on, which is fine. I do want to see that. But when it's not active, I'd like to be able to just see the map. But I know I want to go over here somewhere. All right, so send it to Maracaibo. Look at our money racking back up. We got to start spending more money. Can't spend it fast enough. Okay, we're in Maracaibo. So let's go over here and... No. And sell. Let's give them a bunch of wood. We're going to give them a whole bunch of wood. We're not worried about making money on it. And we might as well dump some stuff we just happen to have in stock from our other line. There, we sold all the stuff we were carrying around. And I think what we'll do... Oh, yes, let's grab a bunch of people. And let's go back up here to Seville. I should have probably picked up goods as well, but that's all right. And then what is that? That's the military. The Spanish military is sitting in our harbor. Here we come. All right, so we're here, and let's give Seville some people. Okay, now it says we have a problem here. What's that? I'm going to reject that, even though I think you should be doing tasks whenever you can. Let's see. What's our problem? Risk of plague. So, did our hospital get built? I can't. One thing I can't tell is this built or not built. I guess that's built. We built a hospital here. Probably ought to put another one over here on the other side. Hospital. And it would be nice. One recommendation would be it'd be nice to see coverage. If I'm building one building like a hospital, it would be nice to see the coverage area of any other similar building. So in other words, I don't want to, I could put a hospital right there, it'd be silly. Oh, I see what it does. Okay, if I put it here, it's not covering anything because that one's already covered. So that's kind of sort of telling me the same thing. So if we put it here, well, this guy never gets covered. We're going to put it right here and cover those four. And again, I'd almost like to build the hospital as part of the downtown. We'll see how that works, how we want to do it. So we'll build a hospital right there. That should help with Seville. And Cocoa in Puerto Cabezas. I have a feeling it's probably lacking building materials. Well, this says we have 8 cocoa businesses. Did I mess up? Wouldn't be the first time. These are coffee. Oh, I built 8 coffee plantations. Well, all right, I'm not quite understanding this. In Puerto Cabezas, what do we have? We have 8, I didn't mean that. We have 8 coffee and no cocoa. Shoot. But we'll keep those. And there's cocoa. We didn't build any cocoa. I didn't build any cocoa. I'm going to blame you guys. You guys didn't build cocoa. You were supposed to. There's our cocoa plantation, so let's get that built. And that's why we're not getting the credit here, because we haven't done this task. Treasure map, statues, we haven't even gotten into those yet. And tactics, that'll come when the battles come. We'll get to that later. Oh, and I was thinking about the tasks that we're not doing. That's another way to get fame. Now, one of the big ways to get fame is to start the battles when you start fighting people. So let's see. Young woman, please help me, my husband. I'm going to accept this. Husband out here to sea. So did we accept that? Yes, okay. So I want to get Attican and bring him down. Where was it? Down here? Yes. North of Port Royale. Oh, shoot. We need to go over here. Port Royale is not even on the... It doesn't even show on our map, but I happen to know I think it's right over here. Let's go over there and find out. There we go. We find him safe and sound. His vessel. Can you help me to get my vessel afloat again? I will then return to Tela and leave the vessel to you. For this old tub is already. Oh, so we can get a free ship out of this. Will help. Then he sets off for home. I don't know what that means, but I think he's sailing home. And if we go to Tela, there should be a ship there waiting for us. Tela, I guess it would be called, in the harbor. Where would that be? Right here. Let's get repairs while we're here. Oh, it'd be in the lighthouse. Is the weird place you would look for it. I mean, where else would you look for a ship but in a lighthouse? I don't see any vessel. Maybe it hadn't popped up yet. I may have misunderstood that task. Oh well.
Excellent. Whenever you visit me, I will gladly tell you how your colonial commodities have affected your fame. Where people work hard, the Lord in his wisdom provides for pleasures through the fruits of nature. You have a little town there that is perfect for growing sugar. You can turn it into rum.
Okay, they want us to produce rum. Now rum, the bottom line is where they want us to produce rum. Take sugar to make the rum, but rum also needs wood because they have to burn fires to heat things up. So sugar and wood come together for rum. And they're saying Bluefields is ideal for sugar, and Bluefields, they want us to have 4 rum producers in Bluefields. So let's just look at Bluefields, which is right, I think it's right up, no, where is it? Down this way, down the coast. Here it is. Okay, what can they make? They can make sugar, but they don't do wood. So we're producing wood in Seville. Let me see if there's any wood nearby. No, I'm not seeing any. Valladolid can produce wood, but we don't have wood there. We do have wood in Seville, and I think we have a bunch of wood, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we do. So I think what we could do is set up a line that runs wood from Seville to Bluefields. This is where the campaign's telling us to do stuff that I wouldn't necessarily do. We've already got sugar. We've got up here. We've got sugar in Seville. We've got wood right there. If you want to produce rum, you do this, right? All day long. In fact, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put rum factories in Seville, because we're kind of having fun playing with Seville anyway. We're going to build out Seville, put in rum factories. Where's our sugar? Cotton, tobacco. Oh no, that's cotton. I'm sorry. I take all that back. Sugar. Where's sugar? Oh, look at this. We're already making rum too, aren't we? Yeah, it'd be crazy to go down there. Sisal has wood, sugar, and rum. We can do all three in one place, produce the rum like crazy in Sisal, and then do whatever they want us with it. Now, they do want us to... You own 2 businesses for the production of sugar, and it doesn't specify where. And we have to make rum in Bluefields. Yeah. You know what I think we're going to do? We're going to go to Bluefields and put in 4 rum factories, and whether we keep them or not, that might be a different question. So let's go into construction, products, rum factories. Oh, I bet we don't have a building permit here. I bet we do now. 180,000. Apparently they get more expensive. Okay, there's 4 rum factories. But what we're going to do to make money and to be efficient is go to Sisal and put in sugar. Well, wait, let's think about this. Now, we can't build the infrastructure in Sisal, I don't think. Go to the Viceroy concession. No, it's, what is it? Fame. Okay, Sisal. We need way more workers. More workers than we can actually do it. So we could build some businesses of sugar and rum and figure out where we want to put them. So I think we would want to put hospital and park. If we thought about a church right here and had houses around it, right out here would be workshops. So out in here we want sugar plantations. Let's do 4. We'll put in 4 sugar plantations out here. And let's put in rum factories just inside that. Can we make rum? We can't. We need a concession for it. We have one fame point now. Concessions. Look at that. Now we can make rum. All right, so rum. Okay, we've got sugar and rum, and eventually we'd like to have housing in here and build this up with maybe a church. Because I was thinking about it too. I don't think you have to have a church and a tavern. The church takes it to 240. The tavern doesn't add anymore. Or you could just throw down a tavern and get it up to like I don't know what it is, 140 or something like that. All right, so I'm thinking get the rights, put a church here. We'll have housing in here, which is going to service our rum and our sugar. And now we'll have all kinds of rum and sugar. And we'll have our Bluefields, the 4 rum, which we may or may not keep. And we'll be good to go. And I think we'll stop right there and see how that turns out in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it'll help us all become better players. I hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe, and join us for our next Port Royale 4 video. Thank you.